What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Loki episode 5 spoiler discussion. I don't even know why I said the episode number, but welcome everybody to the live stream. Today we're going to be going full into spoilers on Loki. Now, I put a voting poll, so for the people who are watching this live, you are now able to go vote. So far, we got 2 votes, and so make sure you vote. Let me know what are your thoughts on. Oh, there's 3 votes. All right, so make sure to let me let me know what are your thoughts on this brand new episode of Loki. All right, let me actually hold up. I'm trying to click out of this, but anyways, something I want to talk about before we get into the Loki spoiler discussion. Make sure you go ahead, follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter at Isaac the Film Geek. That way you can be associated with us more. Also, one last thing out of the way is we are starting a Discord server. Now you're probably wondering, what is this Discord server going to be about? It's practically just going to be us as movie fans, discussing. Maybe I'll tell you guys some behind the scenes stuff, like when I'm recording videos, when I'm editing them, and all that kind of fun stuff. And also, again, I want to let you guys know that there will be, in fact, spoilers for Loki episode 5. And some people were asking me why am I doing this today rather than yesterday? Because yesterday was when the episode dropped. And most people, wait, hold on, let me lower the camera a little bit. I don't like it being too high up. So some people were asking me why I'm doing this really rather early, really rather the next day. Most people do their spoiler discussions the day before. The reason why I'm doing it the day after is because most people just aren't watching it, that exact day. So I do have to talk about that. And also, today is Black Widow Day. Today is game day for Black Widow. I actually just booked my tickets to go watch it again. I actually quite enjoyed it. I mean, I have a review out on YouTube. I actually quite like the movie, and I mean, it's not the best MCU movie, but hey, it's a solid movie. But we got our first comment here by Andrew Casali. Richard E. Grant stole the show. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see that. I mean, he was great. Don't get me wrong. He was my favorite Loki variant besides Loki himself. Also, let me make sure the audio is good. I think the audio should be good, so we're good there. By the way, if anything goes wrong, you guys let me know. The good thing is I'm in a different room, so you guys can see me clearly, and you guys can hear the audio. Like, I'm not, buffering or anything, because from what I'm seeing, everything seems good. Everything seems good. But Richard E. Grant, I actually quite liked him. I remember when he got casted, I was like, whoa, like when he showed up on the Loki panel, I was like, heck yeah, man, I really like Richard E. Grant. I love how he's wearing the comic accurate suit. That I found hilarious, but I didn't really love Richard E. Grant that much. I thought he was decent. I don't think he was that bad. I mean, I'm making it sound like it's bad. No, what I'm trying to say is he was pretty good, but he wasn't stunning. Like, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really like that part, but also, what was I going to say? There's one last thing I wanted to get out the way. Again, also, let me know your theories on episode 6 in the comment sections, whether it's live or the replay. I know quite a few people watch the replays of these streams, so make sure you comment down below your thoughts on this episode. Give me your theories for the next episode, whatever it is, because this is the Multiverse of Movies. And for the people who are brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notification bells. That way I can know what you guys are thinking. This is, in fact, a Loki episode 5 spoiler. That's right, spoiler discussion, because I'm going to go all in on spoilers for the show. Also, give me a minute right now. I'm going to do a real quick setting. Let me put an image. But for the people who are joining us, I'm right now going to just give me a minute right now, real quick, all right? All right, so we're back, and let me take out the image. All right, we're back. So now we got some people here on the chat. I'm hoping. Oh wait, hold up. Let me read the first one actually. By the way, what's up, Subramania? And welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the Multiverse of Movies, and I'm glad you're here to join us for a Loki episode 5 spoiler discussion. But anyways, Richard E. Grant in that 60s Loki outfit was cool. His backstory was good too. Yeah, I like his backstory. You know how it's like in Infinity War, well, not in Infinity War, but there was going to be a scene. Why am I messing up today? Okay, I want to apologize to everyone. I don't know why, but today I'm just messing up. I was recording a video earlier today, and for some reason I kept messing up that I had to just cut out the video, like delete it permanently. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I like his backstory, how he manipulated Thanos. He says the Mad Time specifically. He goes to live on a planet alone, and then when he finally tries to leave, the TVA comes in. And let's be fair right now. The TVA clearly is an oppressor. The TVA clearly is a place of oppressors with terrible people, or not terrible people, but a man who controls everything in everyone's life. We're gonna find out the next. I was hoping this episode we were gonna reveal who the villain was. I know there's theories about Kang the Conqueror. I actually believe there's a 70% chance that it will be Kang. I'm gonna lower my standards because I remember I was for sure that Mephisto was gonna be in WandaVision. Yeah, back there. Clearly that came out to be wrong. But I'm gonna lower my standards for this one. But I do think there's more of a chance of Kang the Conqueror being in the next episode rather than Mephisto. And I gotta understand that I don't understand why this episode didn't end off with the villain. So that way, I think it would have had more anticipation for the next episode, because most shows do that. Most shows that build up to a villain, the second to last episode, they'll reveal the villain, and then the final episode, they'll finally fight the villain. So that way, you don't have to do a build-up episode. Now it's a more of a you do that current story episode, and I thought that's what they were going to do. Let me check the votes. So the votes for the poll, we got our poll right now. 3 votes. It's a yes. All of you for now seem to really like episode 5. That is completely cool, man. But yeah, I'm hoping the one behind it all is Kang, but they might do a cop-out, and it's an Evil King variant of Loki or Sylvie. That I also think is the second possibility. For some reason, I don't see Marvel wanting to bring in Kang in a Disney Plus series. Then again, they are going to show him in Ant-Man Quantumania. I kind of hope it is Kang, because for years I've been wanting to see Kang in live action, because Kang is a villain I really enjoy in the comics. Also, let me I have my water bottle right here. I'm gonna put it right here so that way I'll put it right here just so that way I can drink water real quick. But to all the people joining us in the chat, because I see a lot of people just joining us, welcome to the Multiverse of Movies. Again, it's a Loki episode 5 spoiler. That's right, spoiler discussion. But I'm hoping it is Kang. But to me, as long as it fits well with the story, I don't care if it's an evil Mobius variant. I don't care if it's, I don't know, Thanos himself for some reason. To me, as long as it makes sense for the story and it's a good villain, I'm all right with it. But yeah, sub. I'm just gonna say sub. I don't know why, but I always end up saying this when he comes in the chat. But yeah, there are rumors that Loki itself created the TVA. I don't know what to think about. I think it's more of a chance that it's a Loki variant rather than Loki from like a future, like Tom Hiddleston himself. But there's a chance. There's a good chance that there could be. But I do think this episode did tease a lot of Kang. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't even see, for some reason my mind just can't process that it could be Kang. But I do think there's a chance that it can be Kang. Also, to the people who are joining us in the stream, make sure you go ahead and vote. Let me know what are your thoughts on episode 5. Next comment is going to be, I don't want to cop out, and it's just an evil variant of Loki behind it all. Created the TVS too easy. My thought on that is, as long as the story does it well, I'm not someone who's like they have to do this or they have to do that or they can't do this or they can't do that. I'm more of someone who's like, just do whatever works. Because I remember when I first watched WandaVision, I was disappointed in the final episode, but the more time passed by, I eventually ended up liking it more than I did the first time, because I realized as fans, we do have to kind of realize that we're not the storytellers, we're not the writers. We shouldn't focus on theories. We shouldn't focus on theories, but rather hope that they give us the best story possible. That's kind of That's kind of my way of seeing it. Next comment is I saw someone say the talking clock is behind it all. Oh yeah, miss minutes. I really want to get a miss minutes clock, although that probably would be pricey because Loki merch, since it's recent, would probably cost more now than later. Because that's what typically happens. Where if it's something that's currently happening, it tends to be more pricey. But like I remember, I went on Amazon because I really love that TVA jacket, the detective one, and I found one and it showed the TVA logo and it said TVA at the bottom, and in the back it said variant, and I'm like, I need this, I need this jacket. It looks awesome, but it was like $40 to $50, and I'm like, heck nah, man, 40 like $50. I don't know. Maybe I should get it. YouTube's paying me, so might as well get it. It would look cool for the videos. Although I'm not gonna lie, I love my shirt right here. I love having my logo plastered right here for the video. I put it. One thing I do want to say is I apologize for not making my videos in my typical setup. From now on, when I do live streams, I can never do it in my room because I bought an extender. It's this little box that helps the Wi-Fi extend, because where I'm at, the router is actually like right there. So the Wi-Fi, my room is the farthest away from this house. And so I struggle with doing streams because live streams require a lot of data. And so I tried doing them in my room by getting an extender, because from the box, from my friend, from reviews, I saw that it actually does help better the Wi-Fi by a large margin, and it even said that this is good for streaming. Now, the little extender I have, sorry if I'm talking about this too much, but I just want to say, from the box, when I put it in, it was working well with my PlayStation, with everything. I could finally use the Wi-Fi on my phone, because typically on my phone, I just use my data because it's much easier, my LTE. And I was hoping that it would work for streaming, because it worked really well with everything. It made the Wi-Fi in my room much better and more efficient. So when I do my first stream on Saturday, it just went complete BS. It just threw itself away. It really frustrated me, but sorry about that. But I really don't see it being Miss Minutes. I do think Miss Minutes would know who it is, but I don't think it's Miss Minutes herself. Why? Because that would seem a little stupid, but then again, it's fine. It's better than, I guess, as long as it makes sense for the story. But yeah, is it me? Wait, I read that wrong. Is it me, or is it that Tom's Loki getting pooped on for his plans, and he says Sylvie is way better and smarter and was dumb? Oh yeah, I've seen some people debating like whether Loki's being neutered here. A lot of people are saying Loki's typically this sarcastic, comedic, smart, intelligent guy who typically he knows how to get himself out of trouble. In this series, he has been neutered a little bit. Like, I've seen that there are times where I'm like, Loki wouldn't do that. Like, for example, Loki wouldn't get drunk. I'm sorry, but an Asgardian really doesn't get drunk, especially when you're a king like him. God. My thoughts is I'm fine if they make Sylvie better, because Sylvie is, in fact, a person who has been on the run. She's trained herself. She's someone who takes this all serious because she was oppressed. She was a variant. Variants are oppressed in the TVA. And to me, I'm fine if Sylvie is, because Sylvie has had a much harder life than Loki. What I don't like is that they are neutering Loki a lot. And I can understand that. Like, they're making Loki seem pretty dumb at points, and that does frustrate me. But I'm fine if they make Sylvie a smarter person, someone who's much more intelligent, and also much stronger. She should be more stronger than Loki because she's more trained. She's been on the run her entire life. She knows what the stakes are. So to me, it makes sense if they change that up a little bit. That's just me, but it is what it is. But yeah, Sub says, whenever I open social media apps, I see Vin Diesel memes instead of Loki memes. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Vin Diesel memes. I saw one where it's him fighting Steppenwolf, him in Endgame's final battle. I've been seeing so many memes. By the way, on my Instagram, I posted a lot of Vin Diesel memes. It's actually down there in the banner. It says at Isaac the Film Geek. So follow me on Instagram and let me know. You can go watch those memes because I love the Vin Diesel memes. I really do like the Vin Diesel memes. Like I was posting them a lot. It's just so much, and a lot of them are like MCU, DC related. So it is what it is. But yeah, and you know who should be the villain? Okay. So this is also by the way, shout out to Andrew. He followed me on Instagram. But you know what they should do for the ending. So you have a scene where Loki and Sylvie see Kang. Also, by the way, hold up. I'm gonna check something right now. I'm gonna put this image right here. Uh, we're gonna put this image, and I'll be back in like 1 second. Give me a second. Okay, sorry guys. I had to go check something real quick before I started, but uh, the ending should be you see Kang the Conqueror. He's like, "You've uncovered my master plan, Loki and Sylvie," and all of a sudden you think Kang's gonna kill both Loki and Sylvie, and then all of a sudden, like he has like this gun, like let's say he has this laser gun, he shoots it, and it looks like it's gonna kill Loki. But right when it's about to, you see Dominic Toretto's car pop up out of nowhere, stop right there. You see him get out of the car and he says, I used to live my life a quarter. Wait, what did he say? He says, I used to live my life a quarter mile at a time. Something like that. And you see him whip out his shotgun. He says, anything for family. And and it shoots Kang the Conqueror. The TVA is over. No more variants. The multiverse is broken. And now you see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. You see the entire everyone. You even see the DCEU pop up. You see Ben Affleck's Batman, Ben Affleck's Daredevil. You see Henry Cavill's Superman. You see Brendan Routh, Christopher Reeve. You see every version of every character ever. You see Star Wars appear. And all of a sudden, you see multiple Dominic Torettos. And then now all of a sudden in the MCU, no more MCU movies because it would just be Dominic Toretto being the OP Lord of the MCU, just sitting on his throne saying, anyone want to challenge me? So now the MCU won't be the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's going to be the Dominic Toretto Cinematic Universe, a universe where Dominic Toretto is just, anytime there's a villain, he pops up and he's like, anything's for family. That's going to be the ending of Loki. Like I guarantee, no, I'm joking. I thought about that a little too much, but yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Vin Diesel memes. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere. But yeah, imagine if the show tells us that Toby and Andrew Spider-Man are variants of Tom Holland, not the versions of the multiverse. I would be surprised. Like, let's say the ending scene, you see the multiverse ripped, and for some reason you see like the different Spider-Mans, the different like a multiverse. That would be cool. But I don't think that will happen. I feel like they're gonna say the multiverse broke. Like there's no more sacred timeline. I feel like what we're gonna find out is that there are multiple timelines. However, the villain has been trying to maintain it and let everyone not know about it. And then we find out that having multiple timelines isn't a bad thing. What is a bad thing is once they correlate. And I feel like it's gonna mess something up in the timeline. And then eventually it might lead us to Doctor Strange, No Way Home, something like that. Because I don't see No Way Home. I don't see how in No Way Home they could just reveal, oh yeah, multiverse rip. I feel like they would have to do in Loki. But hey, I could be wrong. But yeah, Andrew says, oh, by the way, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Let me just read this comment and I'll catch up with you shortly. The Loki from Thor 1 and Avengers 2012. That is the one I miss. Evil, manipulative, and smart. That is Tom's Loki. I do think he still has hints of evil and hints of manipulation, but I will say he has seemed a little dumber, like in these episodes. It's kind of like he seems weak too. Like that very first episode, the entire episode is just him getting beat up and treated like garbage, which makes sense to make TVA look strong, but it does kind of hurt the character, like Loki. But yeah. Also, Edwin says, hey, Isaac, what's up, Edwin? Welcome to the stream. You think Kang will appear in the last episode? I believe there's a 70% chance that it is Kang the Conqueror. mainly because they have been hinting. I watched a video where they were showing like little details, and a lot of it does seem like they're pointing out to Kang. However, and it's not like Mephisto, because to be fair, there really wasn't much of Mephisto. And also, wait, hold up. Give me a minute, because I gotta check something real quick. I'll be back right in like 2 seconds. Guys, I am back. Yeah, sorry I keep doing that. It's just I gotta check for something real quick, but I think more of a chance. There's a bigger chance that we will be seeing King than I believe any other character. But hey, that's possible. Not the Dom family memes. There's a lot of them. There's no way to escape the Dom memes. Like, it's family, you know. Like, F9 was really that silly to a point where it just became a meme. And I think it's fair because F9. Oh yeah. No spoilers again for Fast 9. No, because again, this is a Loki. I just want to ask you guys: have any of y'all seen F9? If so, let me know your thoughts. Whether you like or don't like it, let me know your thoughts on F9, the Fast Saga. Also, 4 votes and 4 people say that they did like the episode. But yeah, Dom solos Galactus. Yeah, for those people who want to see Galactus, we're gonna see a meme where Dominic Toretto just completely beats the crap out of Galactus. No battle. It's just gonna be Dom being like family. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. And then Cardi B is gonna make an appearance. She's just gonna make a cameo. And you know what? Let's cast John Cena as Galactus, because why not? Why not? I can see why Vin Diesel didn't like him. I'm joking. I'm joking about that. But yeah, are Tom and Zendaya really dating, or is it's just a publicity stunt for Spider-Man movie? Well, to be fair, none of us can answer this because we don't know Tom and Zendaya's life. Now, if you were to ask me, I feel like they're not dating, but they kissed in the car. I don't think it's a publicity stunt, to be fair. Because from the angle, like, you can tell when it is a real or fake image sometimes, but from the way it was positioned, it seemed like they weren't aware the camera was there, because it looked very hidden. It looked like someone was like, "Yo, is that Tom and Zendaya?" Like, with the camera just like that. I could be wrong. Now with Zendaya and Tom Holland, I feel like I really can't say. Again, I'm not part of their relationship. That's not up to me to answer. That's more up to them to answer. I would say, really, I would say they're probably not in a serious relationship. I think they would be in I feel like this has been going on for longer than we think. But again, I don't know. But a little fun fact, by the way, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland both dated their love interest in their movies in real life. Like, I always forget what Mary Jane's actress's name is. I think her name was Kristen something. I forgot what her name was from the Tobey Maguire movies. We all know who Andrew Garfield's girl is. It was Emma Stone at the time. Emma Stone's a very popular actress, so her name's easy. But I can't really remember the girl from the Tobey Maguire movies, like her name. But I feel like it was Kristen something. But yeah. What do you think is going to happen, Loki? I'm going to say what I think is going to happen is at the end they defeat the villain. Sylvie and Loki both stay alive, and the TVA is dismantled. There's not going to be one timeline. I feel like it's going to be now multiple multiverses now, because I feel like there are multiple multiverses, just that King or whoever the villain's going to be has been hiding it. Like, he's been like, nah, the TVA's got to listen to my orders. And I feel like this villain is going to want the multiverse, like, not a multiverse, but one timeline. He's been trying to do that his entire life. So he goes to different points that are, I don't know. It's so hard to predict, but I feel like a lot of people are saying either Sylvie's probably going to die or Loki's going to die. I don't think Loki's going to die. I mean, then again, he dies in every movie. So it's not, there's no point anymore in killing him off, because we know he'll come back. I mean, he came back for Loki. And before y'all say it's, oh no, this isn't the Ragnarok Loki we know from the current timeline. I don't care. It's Tom Hiddleston. He's playing the same role. I don't. I could care less. That is the same guy. But I feel like they're just gonna leave. Maybe my predictions: Loki and Sylvie are both gonna stay together in love, and they'll just leave, or maybe they'll try to fix the TVA. But I don't think they're gonna want a TVA. To be fair, like a lot of people are saying, Mobius is gonna have a TVA. To be fair, I mean, what Sylvie has been fighting for is, the timeline, how controlling they've been. I mean, the TVA, but I could be wrong. But yeah, the Loki from 2012 will never let them beat him up or act dumb. She uses sorcery to get out of it. Yeah, I'm remembering a scene just right now. Just now that I'm reading your comment in episode 3, there was a scene that really annoyed me. And it was a scene where like two like regular human soldiers grabbed Loki, and Loki wasn't hesitating. He just let them grab him, and they threw him out the window. And that kind of annoyed me because I'm like, Loki has gone toe to toe with Captain America, Tony Stark, Hulk, Thor, Thanos, even though he did lose some of them. Like, he clearly lost to Hulk. Still, he was able to handle, like, something everyone takes for granted is Loki was able to survive a grab from Hulk and then just slap on hard concrete floor to a regular human being. One hit, they're dead. No chance of them staying alive. But Loki, when he, after the like multiple hits around and from Avengers 2012, he was just like, oh, and then after a while you hear him like, I'll have that drink now. Like, that's how strong he is. So it is weird now that seeing two humans pick him up and just throw him out. Like, wouldn't Loki just be able to like magic? But yeah, sucks that classic Loki died. I think it's the same guy, to be fair. But yeah, Richard E. Grant was hold up. Richard E. Grant was if Tom Hiddleston Loki stayed evil through the whole MCU to Infinity War. I mean, that's a good theory. I believe it's more of a Loki if he had succeeded in Infinity War to kill Thanos. But I do think this Loki, Richard E. Grant's Loki, was more evil than Loki was in Infinity War. Loki in Infinity War really wasn't evil at all, because in Ragnarok he got redeemed, and then in Infinity War we find out he's doing it like he was planning on killing Thanos. But yeah, Christian Dust. All right. It's funny. I know her name, but for some reason I always forget it because she really isn't that big of an actress, to be fair, or at least in my mind. But it is what it is. Okay, we're getting a lot of comments. All right, I'm gonna have to go through them quickly, but yeah, superhero films today only care about jokes and comedy. They got rid of heroes having character arcs and having stakes. The early 2000s superheroes movie shed stakes and shed stakes and stakes and character arcs. I will say there's a lot of movies that still have that. I mean, Black Widow has a pretty good arc. I'm not going to say what it is because that's a spoiler. I know for some of y'all are going to be watching it today or tomorrow or sometime this weekend. By the way, I do recommend the movie, especially if you're a big fan of like James Bond or Jason Bourne or something like spy related. I do recommend it. I will say, I think the main problem isn't how they write them, rather than the cinematic universe aspect. Let's use Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man as a comparison. Now, what I think Tobey Maguire had an advantage at was he was the only superhero around. Like, when Spider-Man stopped being Spider-Man in the movie, you were like, oh my God, you have Doc Ock and you have all these crazy guys who are now able to cause as much harm to New York as possible. But with Tom Holland, it's different. With Tom Holland, it's like if he stops being Spider-Man, you're there like, all right, we got Iron Man, Captain America. So I do agree with stakes, but I think it's more of a cinematic universe problem rather than any other problem. Like, for example, I remember Far From Home. Everyone was like, Mysterio wouldn't have succeeded because you would have still had Wanda. You would have still had Doctor Strange, Black Panther. You'd still have all these other characters who would have been able to stop Mysterio, which they're not wrong. But it is a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing that modern comic book movies do have. over over the current movie. Wait, over the past movies. But also, oh my god, I'm trying to pull up a let me try putting up. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to scroll down and trying to get the count. But yeah. Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker had a better character arc than MCU Spidey. That I agree with a lot. Especially, I don't think. Look, my thoughts on Tom Holland's Spider-Man is I like him. I think he's a good Spider-Man. I really am a big fan of Homecoming. I really like Homecoming. Didn't really like Far From Home. I don't hate Far From Home, but I don't think it's a good movie. At least my personal subjective opinion. To me, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is a much better Spider-Man by far. But now that's just my opinion. I just want to let everyone know that it's my subjective opinion. I think Spider-Man 2 specifically is the greatest Marvel movie of all time. Like I'm saying all Marvel, whether it's the Blade trilogy, the MCU, the X-Men universe. I do believe Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. There has not been a Marvel movie who's even gone close, to be fair. Like, at least my opinion. I think the only one that comes kind of close is Guardians of the Galaxy. But I love Spider-Man 2. I'm such a big fan of Spider-Man 2. In fact, there are times where I'm down in my life and I'm feeling sad or something, and I'll want to watch Spider-Man 2. But I do agree. I do believe Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man has had a much better arc. Now, I will say we still have another movie to go with Tom Holland, so maybe that will change things. I don't think it will, but I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, Dang DeHaan Green Goblin is better than Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, in my opinion. I personally prefer Willem Dafoe's, but I did like Dang DeHaan's Green Goblin. Also, let me say one thing. Also, I want to give my respects to Andrew Garfield. I actually really like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I think I like the darker, serious tone of Andrew Garfield. Like I feel like he does get pushed under the bridge. Like I see a lot of people who will always debate Tom, Toby, but then Andrew rarely ever gets mentioned. I'm gonna say this: I actually like Andrew Garfield. I think that first Amazing Spider-Man is a really good movie. I really like Lizard in it. I think one big praise I do want to give the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie is to me the best romance in any comic book movie comes from the Amazing Spider-Man, which is the Gwen Stacy Peter Parker love romance. That to me, my personal opinion is I believe they both have the best chemistry on screen from any comic book romance, whether it's Lois Lane Superman, whether it's all the Mary Jane Spider-Man, whether it's all that. So I will give it that. I actually love Mark Webb's version. I don't like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I believe it's the worst Spider-Man movie of all time. But hey, that's just my subjective opinion. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comment sections down below. But yeah, I'm ignoring that, Edward. I won't. I'm just gonna read what he says. But yeah, Sub says, "What will Mobius do now in TVA?" I mean, your opinion. My opinion is I don't think there will be a TVA. Like I see a lot of people saying that Mobius is going to take over the TVA. I really don't see a TVA existing anymore, especially because Sylvie had a deep hatred for the TVA, and Mobius probably has a deep hatred now for it because they betrayed him. They betrayed his trust. They betrayed him. I feel like Mobius is going to go back to his normal life, the life he had before he became and he was part of the TVA. I believe that's what's going to happen. And we're also going to see a scene where he's on a jet ski, like, dun, dun, dun. Like you have a crazy scene like that. But yeah, I feel like the MCU nerfed and ruined Thor, Hulk, Loki, and Spider-Man, in my opinion. I disagree with Spider-Man and Thor. Well, I disagree with Spider-Man and Thor. Loki, I will say they did nerf him a lot. Thor, I believe he's stronger now than he was in the other movies. Like Thor Ragnarok, he was able to save Asgard from total destruction. In Infinity War, he was the closest to killing Thanos. In Endgame, he did kill Thanos, and he was a big part of the time heist. Spider-Man. Now, with character-wise, I will say I don't think they ruined him. What I do think they did wrong is making Tony Stark a mentor. That to me is something I don't like. Now, I will say it's just such a hard standard, Tobey Maguire. That's what I do when I watch Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm like, instead of putting him at this Tobey Maguire standard, and I do the same with Andrew Garfield, I'm like, hey, enjoy it for what it is. Maybe it won't be as good as Tobey Maguire's. I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is much better than all the other Spider-Man. This includes the comics, the movies, the cartoons, all the Spider-Man. That's just my personal opinion, but hey, it is what it is. Also, we got 6 votes. 83% of y'all say yes on liking episode 5 of Loki. And also, I'm trying to zoom some comments. All right. Okay, so next one, Nerf. Imagine it's Doctor Doom. That I give it a 2% chance. I don't see that happening at all. But if it does, I'm gonna give Edwin all the credit for guessing that because that's a crazy guess. Isaac, are you going to watch No Time to Die? Heck yeah, man! I love the James Bond movies, especially Daniel Craig. I love Daniel. I even got a Funko Pop of Daniel Craig, which wait, is it? No, it's not there. That's just Sarah Connor, Captain America, and Deadshot, and also a Back to the Future DeLorean. But I really like No Time to Die. I can't remember when was the release date. The movie has been changed so much to where I forgot what day it's coming out. But yeah, what about Andrew Garfield? I gave my opinion on that. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is underrated. I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but hey, I'm glad you liked it. At the end of the day, to me, what's important is that you like a movie, even if I hate a movie. Like I was saying this on my Fast 9 stream, even though I hated Fast 9, I hope that everyone loves it. And to me, my opinion is that I hope for everyone to love a movie, no matter what movie it is. And even if I hate it, like even if I despise a movie, like for example, a movie I hate is Thor: The Dark World. I hate Thor: The Dark World. But I've met people who like Thor: The Dark World, and I even know someone whose favorite comic book movie is Thor: The Dark World, and I'm glad they love it because to me that's the whole point of a movie. To me, a movie should be an experiential event. So I'm glad you like Amazing Spider-Man 2. Although I hated it, I'm glad you liked it. That's all that matters to me, is as long as you like it, regardless of what I say. Like I always say this in my reviews, all movies are subjective. And I always tell people to watch a movie on their own, to know their own full opinion rather than just hear me. Because even though it is nice to agree with people, I still want people to be as honest as possible. You know what I mean? But yeah, Tobey Spider-Man ripped straight from the comics. I would say for the most part, yeah. To me, that doesn't affect. Like I was saying in my last stream, that comic accuracy doesn't really matter to me. But I will agree that it is. But to me, that's not a reason why it makes him better. I think the reason is because they wrote him well. Tobey Maguire is a great actor, and Sam Raimi is such an amazing director. But yeah, 6 votes, 83% of y'all like episode 5 of Loki because it was game day. Also, I was gonna do a pregame show on Tuesday for Loki, but at the last second, I planned the stream. I had it all scheduled and everything, but at the last second, or not, like the hour before it was going up, I was busy with something. I had to do something else, and I was so sad because I wanted to do my first Loki pregame show. But don't worry, on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're gonna be doing a Loki pregame show for episode 6 because I love pregame shows and I love pregame shows. So stay tuned for that. I saw Spider-Man 2. It was good. I didn't like it when I saw it the last time, but I saw it. It was good. Hey man, if you didn't think it was as good, that's completely fine. My same opinion is what I said earlier is, to me, if you don't like or do like a movie, to me it's all what matters is your view, whether you're Andrew, Sub, Edwin, all the people on the stream, whether you like or don't like a movie, even if it's popular, as long as you get the experience that you fully trust it is, that's yours, man. Me personally, I think Spider-Man 2, the 2004 Spider-Man 2 Sam Raimi movie, is the greatest Marvel movie of all time, and it's a cinematic masterpiece. But hey, it's all right, man, if you didn't like it. Or well, you did like it. You did like it, just that you don't love it, from what I'm assuming. All right, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry if I confused that, but Tobey was matured compared to the other two. It's like the first 3 movies really wanted us to see that Peter was able to be a hero all by himself independently. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I have a question. What was your prediction for Avengers Endgame? Depends specifically. I will say, before Endgame came out, before the first trailer for Endgame came out, I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a theory that the movie was going to be called uh, it was going to be called Avengers Annihilation, and I believe that. I thought the movie was going to be called Annihilation, but when they called it Endgame, I was like, heck yeah, that's even a better title. Like I was like, thank God I was wrong. My theory was because there was a lot of things already going. Like I'm telling you, Endgame theories were insane, more insane than WandaVision, Loki. I'm not sure if any of y'all were part of the community when that was happening, but I remember there was theories of this, and that. My ultimate final prediction was they're gonna go back in time. What I thought at first, this I thought was for sure. I thought at the beginning they were gonna fight Thanos with Iron Man healthy and everyone healthy, Captain Marvel in it, and Thanos was gonna beat them up. I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought Thanos was gonna beat them up. I thought he was gonna beat up Captain Marvel and she was gonna be in the rest of the movie. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I was wrong about that part, but I was right about the time heist and that they were gonna go back to get the stones. I was wrong about Black. Like I said, the people that were gonna die was Captain America. I thought he was gonna take the ultimate snap, and I thought Hawkeye was gonna die, getting the Soul Stone, because it's his. It was kind of. I thought that was gonna be his redemption arc, but I was wrong. And when I saw the movie, I'm like, I thank God I was wrong. It makes more sense for Tony to take the sacrifice, and it makes more sense for Natasha to sacrifice herself. I will say, when Natasha died, I was like, but her movie. It's been confirmed that they're filming her movie at that moment. And my thought was two things. My thought was, okay, so it's gonna be a prequel, and my other thought was, are they gonna bring her back when they snap? And I'm glad they did a prequel instead. But it was my mention. I didn't really know what the ending was gonna be though. What I thought was, I thought Cap was gonna take the ultimate sacrifice, and I thought Tony was gonna retire. We were gonna see him in Far From Home mentoring Peter. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But I turned out to be wrong, and in a way, I'm glad I was wrong. But yeah, next comments by Andrew. Tobey Maguire's performance lives up to the title Spider-Man more than the other two actors that played Spider-Man theatrically. I'm going to say this right now, and I think Andrew's going to agree with me. To me, Spider-Man 2 is not a movie about Spider-Man. It's a movie about Peter Parker, his struggles, his story. And to me, that's the whole point of the character of Spider-Man. It's not about him being this cool teenager who can shoot web shooters or swing from building to building. What I think Spider-Man has been about the whole time is how relatable he is, how his problems are like ours, where he has financial issues, he has teenage struggles, he has love issues, and you know, he's struggling with school. You know, college kids really feel that, and that's what I've always felt with Tobey's Spider-Man and all other Spider-Mans. A lot of people say that Tobey's Spider-Man's too cheesy. I thought the cheesy made sense because, you know, it felt kind of real to me. And yeah, I agree. But I do think Andrew and Tom are both also relatable in a sense. But yeah, sorry, I don't want to go too long on questions because we have a lot of them. I wish we got Incredible Hulk 2. Yeah, me too, especially with Edward Norton, man. I love Edward Norton, but yeah. Who should play James Bond? Idris Elba or Henry Cavill? I don't think it's a should thing. It's like, if I was to choose though, I wouldn't say should because there's other actors who could also do the Bond. My perspective is I think they're both great as Bond. Like they would probably be great as Bond, but it depends on the script. The ultimate goal is the script. I would say they're both great equally, but I think Elba would do a James Bond better. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Let me drink some water real quick. But I could be wrong. I do think Elba has that smooth, suave kind of mood that a James Bond has. But yeah, I could be wrong. Toby took the lessons for his uncle's death, understood what he wanted him to be, for him to take responsibilities of his powers of good on good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Spider-Man 2, 2004 masterpiece. Yeah, I agree with that. Sub says, will Doctor Strange get just a cameo or will he get an important role in No Way Home? I think it's going to be an important role, but not a big role. Like, I don't think we're going to see Doctor Strange as much as we did Tony Stark in Homecoming. I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is he'll be there. He's going to tell Peter's going to hide at the Sanctum Sanctorum because he's another Avenger he just met, and he's like, oh, he lives in New York and he knows where he is. So it's like, let's go there. And he's a super being who knows him. He's like, or maybe Doctor Strange is going to see Peter and Cho and be like, hey, come with me to the Sanctum Sanctorum to hide you. And I feel like maybe they'll find out about the multiverse being in trouble. Maybe we're going to get references to what happened in WandaVision. I don't know. I think it's just going to be it's going to be more than a cameo, but I don't think it's going to be an important, vital role. But I could be wrong. Tom Spider-Boy, Andrew Spider-Teen, Toby Spider-Man. I guess I could agree with that. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 and Logan is the best Marvel movies. I actually have a friend whose favorite movie of all time is Logan. My two favorite Marvel movies are Spider-Man 2 first and Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people don't like when I tell people Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite MCU movie and my second favorite Marvel movie of all time. Everyone's like, really? Like they look at me all surprised, like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I have a deep love for Guardians of the Galaxy. My third favorite Marvel movie would probably be Avengers 2012. Number 4 would probably be Logan. And then number 5 would be Spider-Man 2002. Actually, wait. No. I just remembered. Into the Spider-Verse. I would say Into the Spider-Verse is a better movie than Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy is third, and Into the Spider-Verse would be second. And the others go back behind. I would say that. But yeah. I remember there were rumors. That Galactus. Wait, hold up. I remember there was rumors that Galactus was rumored to be in Endgame and Ultron. I remember Age of Ultron had rumors that Spider-Man was going to show in like a post-credit scene, because around the time, it's when Sony and Disney marked the deal where they could use Spider-Man in the MCU with Sony supervision. And I do remember Galactus being teased for Endgame. I don't remember Ultron, Age of Ultron, nor Infinity War. But I do remember for Endgame, everyone's like, oh, there's going to be a post-credit scene where you have Galactus show up and be like, haha, my turn now, or something like that. I remember there's those theories. I remember I said Galactus wasn't going to pop up because I didn't think Endgame was going to have a post-credit. Because I remember early on, they said that Endgame wasn't going to have a post-credit because of how it would kind of feel like they wanted it to be a goodbye rather than tease like another movie or something like that. Also, I want to say one last thing about I want to say one thing right now. I didn't like Far From Home, but there's a tiny detail that I don't like, and that is that the post-credit scene should have been the ending, because the post-credit was everyone finds out Peter's identity. And I'm like, why would you put this in a post-credit? You know, people walk out of the theater. That's a major part. And not only that, but that's probably going to be a major part of No Way Home. And I remember I was annoyed. I was like, why the post-credit? It felt awkward that you just put music and then all of a sudden you just show it this major scene that's affecting the next movie. And I think that's something you put at the end. To me, a post-credit is something you tease for a future installment rather than an exact moment of that movie. It's just a tiny thing, but that annoyed me. It did also annoy me that Peter's identity was revealed. To me, Spider-Man and Batman are two characters that I think are better off secretly, especially Spider-Man. Actually, no, both are at the same level of secrecy. But that's just my view. But then again, I hope No Way Home is able to cover up that story well. But yeah, yes, thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Andrew. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 shows how human Peter Parker is, regardless of the fact that he has superpowers. And it shows the struggles of being a student, having a job, love life, and being a hero as well. You want to know a scene I really like that from Spider-Man 2 that I feel isn't talked about enough? It's that scene where he's like, Spider-Man no more. And he like puts the suit like on the trash. And you see that shot straight from the comic book panels. And it shows Spider-Man's suit in trash. And it shows Peter walking away. And all of a sudden it cuts to black. And then you see Peter I think I don't know if I'm remembering this clearly, but you see Peter just walking. You see him smiling for the first time, and you hear raindrops falling on my head, and then you have him trip, and then he gets back up, and then he keeps the song. Raindrops are falling in my head. I love that scene because it's just a simple scene. It's just him walking, and there's a song. The reason why I like it is because you, for the first time, see how happy he is not being Spider-Man. Um, but I feel like that scene isn't talked about enough. But yeah, I prefer Edward Norton over Mark Ruffalo. I remember when I first said that because I remember I first revealed this. Um, I think it was like a year ago. I told one of my friends for the first time, I think Edward Norton's a better Hulk than Mark Ruffalo. And this was before I had a YouTube channel. I think this was around before the pandemic started. And he was like, "Are you crazy? Edward Norton's movies suck." And so for a long time, I believed that I was like the only person in the world that believed Edward Norton was a better Hulk. Up until I think it was like when I started my YouTube channel around the time. I think it was on an Instagram post. I said underrated opinion because back then I used to do underrated opinions daily on my Instagram stories. And I said Edward Norton's Hulk is much better than Mark Ruffalo's. And I saw a lot of people agreeing with me. And I was surprised by that. Like I was genuinely surprised that was the outcome of my poll. And then eventually on YouTube, lots of times I've said it. And I'm surprised by how often people agree with that and say that to a point where I don't believe it's underrated anymore. And I like it. But let's continue with the rest of the comments. Edwin says Tobey Spider-Man is classic Spider-Man, not comic accurate. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is ultimate Spider-Man, comic accurate. And Tom is Miles Morales, comic accurate. I guess I agree with that. But yeah. Andrew says, reason why is Norton shows the timid, tortured scientist who's living in fear of a monster inside him while being on the run from General Ross and trying to be with Betty his love. I do love that. But I will say, even though I prefer Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo did the same in Avengers, the first two Avengers. Like, there's been this narrative that this Hulk isn't as good. I will say this. In Avengers 2012, I think he was amazing because Loki's plan was wake up the beast to ruin the plans that the Avengers had. And I feel like, because what I love about the Mark Ruffalo Hulk is that the whole time with the Avengers, they're like, that's the atomic bomb. You don't want to press him. You don't want to mess with him. You don't want to mess with him. But when he's on your side, you want him to mess with the others. And I love that scene with Mark Ruffalo where Cap's like, we could use the big guy or something like that. And Bruce looks at him back and he's like, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. And I love that scene. And in Age of Ultron, it also had scenes. I will say, after Age of Ultron, they started turning him down. Like, Ragnarok turned him into a child. Even though I liked it, I didn't love it. But Edward Norton's Hulk, to me, is a better Hulk. But I also believe Mark Ruffalo, for the first two movies, was the Edward Norton Hulk. Like, he was like the Edward Norton Hulk. But yeah, Andrew says, well, when he's the Hulk is a literal monster and rage and anger and matter he gets, the stronger he gets. I would say the same for Avengers 2012. But yeah. What if The Rock plays Abomination in The Incredible Hulk 2008? Ooh, I guess no motion capture suit. I don't know. But yeah, excites for What If series. Oh yeah, today the What If series trailer dropped. I liked it. I'm not hyped for it. I'm just more like, all right, seems interesting. Seems pretty interesting. But we'll have to wait and see and find out. But I thought it looked pretty decent. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is better than Spider-Man 2. I disagree, but it's all your subjective opinion. I really love Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's the second best Spider-Man movie of all time, right behind Spider-Man 2. I love that movie. I love it, but I wouldn't say it's nearly as good as Spider-Man 2. But I love Into the Spider-Verse. But hey, your opinion's your opinion. It's all subjective. But yeah, Willem Dafoe looked and sounded like Norman Osborn should. I don't think there's a should, but I will say his voice was insanely creepy. Also, right now I'm scratching my feet. Man, my feet are itchy. But that Spider-Man 2 train saving scene is still one of the best VFX ever. I wouldn't say the best, but it was an amazing scene. I love that, especially when the New Yorker's giving back his mask. And it's pretty. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Um, one has to go Spider-Man 2 or The Dark Knight or Guardians of the Galaxy or Logan. Um, okay, this is really rather easy with the first two, which is I think Spider-Man 2 and Dark Knight are better than Guardians of the Galaxy and Logan. That's hard. Dark Knight or Spider-Man 2. That's been a debate that I've had in my mind for years because when I'm ranking comic book movies, I always change my opinion on that. Dark Knight or Spider-Man 2. To me, those are amongst the best comic book movies. I don't know which one I prefer though. I guess I would say Dark Knight by a little bit. I would say Dark Knight. I love out of Guardians of the Galaxy or Logan. I would say Logan has to go. My ranking is Dark Knight first, Spider-Man 2 second, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and Logan last. When it comes to those four movies you mentioned, that's just my opinion. Dude, that Spider-Man no more scene makes me. Oh, it's no more. What did I say? I know I didn't say no more. I said something else. I was close. I was close though. But yeah, no more scene makes me cry all the time. I hear a hero giving up to live a normal life, and he's like Spider-Man, no more. And then here, range up. I love that scene. No way. My favorite Spider-Man 2 scene, I would have to say is okay. I can't remember. Oh, okay. No, now I remember. It's the scene where after he saves the little girl from a building that went on fire. When he sits down, I know a lot of people have a different opinion on what's their favorite scene, but my personal favorite opinion from that movie is when Peter sits down and you hear one of the fighter fighters say, "Hey, you should be like one of us. Like you should join us. I mean, you're a hero." And I think at the back you hear someone say, "There's a person that died," and you see the guilt in Peter's eyes because he's like, if he was Spider-Man at that moment, he would have been able to save the person that died. And when it pans to his face and you see guilt and you see him be like, it's not a want anymore. It's, I need to be Spider-Man because sure, when he's not Spider-Man, he can live the best life. He can date Mary Jane. He can be this. He can do whatever he wants. But when he's Spider-Man, he has to put his life on hold because he's busy. And I felt like that scene was perfectly well orchestrated. The other scene I would say is second place that I want to mention briefly is the scene where Peter looks at Mary Jane. She's going to get married to J. Jonah Jameson's son, the astronaut, and you see his face like anger, and you see that nothing goes right in his life, and you hear like the music like that beginning. And I love that. I think those two are my favorite scenes. I know they're not the scenes most people say it's their favorite, but I think those are my two favorites. But yeah. Next comment. Edward Norton's Hulk will beat Thanos. I'm assuming you said will beat Thanos. Okay, there we go. Edward Norton will beat Thanos. I'm gonna disagree. Thanos is much stronger than Hulk. Well, not stronger, more intelligent. Hulk, while he's a good fighter, he's not intelligent like Thanos is. Thanos is a tactician. He knows where to hit you. He knows where not to hit you. He knows where the weak spots. He knows that. So I think Thanos, regardless, would have beaten up Hulk. I just don't think Edward Norton's Hulk would have feared Thanos after. But yeah, they turned the Hulk from a raging monster in 2008 to a dabbing tacos lover. That's garbage. Yeah, I didn't like Professor Hulk. I really didn't like Professor Hulk. I will say, let me give you one good memory of Infinity War Hulk. I went to Infinity War on a Thursday, the very first day Infinity War came out. And I remember Loki. I think he says something like, "You won't win," or something like that. And then he's like, he has like the Tesseract. And he says, "We have a Hulk." And then all of a sudden you hear, and then you see Hulk like jump out of nowhere. And he's landing punches against Thanos. I remember my theater was excited. We were like, Loki saying we have a Hulk? Who would have ever thought of hearing Loki say that? And I remember my theater was just excited, just bursting. Everyone's like, "Oh, let's go Hulk." And all of a sudden, I think Corbius Glaive wanted to get into the fight and save Thanos, but Ebony Maw was like, let him have his fun. And all of a sudden, Thanos grabs Hulk's arms, like pushes him away. You see Hulk like, what the heck? No one's been able to do this. And all of a sudden, and then the tactician. I know a lot of people hate Hulk getting beat up by Thanos. I liked it because it made Thanos seem more intimidating. Like, but I remember everyone was celebrating that. Then after that, there was no more good Hulk scenes. Sadly not. But yeah, Mark Ruffalo felt like a reboot of the Hulk. I would say he did after Ragnarok. Before Ragnarok and Age of Ultron and Avengers 2012, I would say that's exactly the same thing Edward Norton's would have done. I know no one really agrees with me on that, but I think it was the same exact Hulk. But yeah, Edwin, not cool. Spider-Man's supposed to be a hero or a symbol for New York, willing to put his life on the line. I saw that in Toby. Well, I do think he did this. They did the same for Tom Holland's Andrews, just not as good. But yeah, Spider-Man 3 was the most hyped movie. I'm gonna assume you say overhyped. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Spider-Man 3. I'm not a fan of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. I thought that was an awful movie. It's not as bad as most people say, but I didn't like the movie at all. Or there was small parts I liked, but I didn't like that movie for the most part. But it is what it is. Favorite scenes from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. Oh, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Bully Maguire. Let's say, realistically, my favorite scene from Spider-Man 3. I think it's that final scene with Sandman where he's like, I forgive you. I guess that scene I would say is my favorite. But really, there aren't many scenes I like from this movie. And you know me, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I just didn't really like Spider-Man 3. But I would say my favorite scene is probably that. Would it be that? Yeah, I would say the forgive you scene. I think that was a good story. But yeah, Peter knows that being Spider-Man is a gift and a curse. Even if he doesn't get what he wants, he still needs to be Spider-Man because it is his responsibility. It's his burden. With great power comes great responsibility. But yeah, I agree with that. But I would say Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield also had that burden. Although, except I will say Tom Holland had it less than any of them. Tom Holland was more like, I need to live up to Tony Stark's standard, and I didn't like the Tony Stark part. But yeah, Bully Maguire dance. We're gonna need a Bully Isaac. But yeah, even though Thanos beat Hulk, that shouldn't. Wait, hold up. Even though Thanos beat Hulk, that shouldn't make him coward and then to come out. I agree. But I always see a lot of people say that Edward Norton's Hulk would have beaten up Thanos. I disagree. Edward Norton's Hulk was nowhere near the level of Thanos. I'm sorry, but Thanos was strong, intelligent, and powerful. And Hulk is not intelligent. Even Edward Norton's Hulk. I mean, Bruce Banner is, obviously, but Hulk isn't. And to me, Thanos would have still won that fight easily, regardless what Hulk it was. Even if it was Eric Bana. But yeah. Why Marvel is doing a Loki series and what is the importance in the real MCU timeline? Well, to be fair, we still have one episode left. And to me, I don't think every Marvel movie or show needs to be important to the timeline. I think to me, as long as it's good. Also, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 second. Don't worry, guys. I'll be back. And we are back. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to go check something, but to me, as long as it's good, that's the only importance. Like, I would say Far From Home had no impact on the MCU timeline, to be fair. So didn't movies like Incredible Hulk didn't really have that much of an impact. Most movies, not most, but a lot of MCU movies don't have an impact. To me, as long as they're good, that's all that I care about. But we're gonna have to wait and see and find out about, like, in the next episode. We're probably gonna find out what it does. Is I do think this will impact the MCU in some way. But it could be wrong. But yeah, Toby knew that being Spider-Man's a gift and a curse, and even if he doesn't get what he wants, he still needs to be Spider-Man because it's his responsibility, his burden through 3 films. That is true. Also, I just got sent a text. I'm gonna read it real quick, but I'm also gonna try reading y'all's comments. Hold up, just give me a quick second. I gotta read a text right now from a friend. We're gonna go watch Black Widow to my boy Jose. So shout out to him if he's watching this stream because I know he watches. Hold on. Okay, sorry guys. I had to go do some. I had to do something real quick. Okay, there we go. All right. Also, shout out to my boy Jose because I know he's watching because he always tells me he watches my streams, but he just doesn't comment. So my boy Jose, because we're gonna watch Black Widow today. I know you watching. I know you watching. Although I don't know really because it won't show me who's watching, which is fine. But yeah. What if everyone knows Hulk stayed in the MCU? I would say it's the same thing we saw in Avengers 1 and Avengers 2. I would say both. I mean, those 2 movies showed what Edward Norton's Hulk would have been in the MCU. Past Age of Ultron, Ragnarok, I would say it would probably be the same. I don't know. It's hard to predict, but yeah. Spider-Man's not okay. We're reading too much about the Spider-Man soon, man. I thought this, but yeah. Okay, Ryan, let me drink some water real quick, guys. I'm feeling we've got an hour. Shout out to all of you guys, man. Y'all making this spoiler discussion very fun. I want to ask you guys though. I want to ask you guys if you guys would like a Black Widow spoiler discussion after this weekend, like maybe on Tuesday. But let me know because I don't know if I should do it after the first weekend or I should wait the next weekend or maybe the other next because my rule is 2 weeks and then after that I can talk about spoilers. But I want to do a Black Widow spoiler discussion, but I'm not sure when. Because it is much harder to watch a movie than it is a show. But yeah. No matter what he does. All right, makes sense. But okay, if Edward Norton was about, what about Eric Bana? Hulk, the dude literally kept growing into a giant. To be fair, I don't know. I think Thanos would have still figured out a way. Because Thanos is intelligent. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I would say Thanos would have found a way. Or something. I'm not sure. But yeah. Can't wait for Black Widow. That is awesome, dude. When are you watching it, man? My recommendation is like I actually think it's a good movie. I know a lot of people are now look. Let me just briefly mention this. I hate it when people call every movie an SJW liberal propaganda, like the idiots at Geeks and Gamers. I'm sorry, but that's a stupid statement because they read like one article from IndieWire and then think, oh my God, look at them promoting women. It's like, this happens every time a female is starring in a movie. Can we just pipe down for once? With Birds of Prey, a lot of people are like SJW with Captain Marvel. I kind of understand why they said that for Captain Marvel, but with every female movie, with Wonder Woman 84, I remember they were starting stuff with Wonder Woman 84 just because Gal said this is a good movie for women. I mean, it's the truth. I'm sorry if I'm talking about this, but I just can't stand how Black Widow now has that narrative. When all that happened was IndieWire said that men are going to be jealous, but that's not even from Marvel. I get it if Kevin Feige came out and said men are going to squeal behind a woman. And I understand if Kevin Feige came out and said that, but it was from IndieWire, who's not associated with Disney nor Marvel. It's like, I'm sorry, but I get if you don't or do like a movie, but could we stop making this false narrative? Like, come on, guys. Like, sorry if I ranted, but I don't know. That kind of annoyed me. But yeah. Next comment. Tobey's movies and Raimi has a real love for the character of Spider-Man. I don't get that same love and crap from Watts. I don't know. I really can't say about John Watts and Mark Webb. Wait, is his name John? I feel like his name was John. I know it's Watts, but I think all directors to me have a love for a movie that they're making. And at the end of the day, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see and find out. I do think the thing is, Sam Raimi is a better filmmaker. I think that's a large part of it. It's not necessarily the love, but I believe it's more that he's just a better filmmaker than both Webb and Watts. But I could be wrong. But yeah. Next comment. You think Mark Ruffalo will get a Hulk solo movie? I don't think we will, mainly because Universal and Disney have this weird deal where anytime they want to make a Hulk movie. Okay, so this is the legal thing. Marvel is allowed to make a Hulk movie, like a Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie. The problem is they're not allowed to choose where that movie goes, because they could make the movie and plan it to be in theaters, but Universal has the legal rights to put it wherever they want. Like Universal could make like their own streaming service, I don't know, Universal Plus, and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of putting it in theaters, we're gonna bring that movie and put it on our streaming service. Or if they want, they can be like, hey, Netflix, you want to buy this movie from us? Hey, Marvel made this movie for you. Like that could happen. And that's why I don't think it will happen, because that's what the contract says, where Marvel is allowed to make a Hulk movie. What they're not allowed to do is distribute it. That's Universal's job, which is why they never have the movie, because when they were making Incredible Hulk, there was problems behind the scenes within Universal and Disney's cooperation. It's not like Sony and Disney, who both have a respective corporation or combination. It's a little different from what we know and what happens. Also, Tony Robinson joined us in the chat. What's up, Tony? Welcome to the Multiverse of Movies. Glad to have you here on our Loki episode 5 spoiler discussion. But yeah, with Universal, and that's, I don't think Kevin Feige wants to run the risk, because even if he talks to Universal and be like, hey, can we put this movie in theaters? And even if they say yes, Universal can still ignore that and be like, hey, how about instead of doing that, we put it out on Netflix. That way Netflix can buy it from us, and then we make money from that. And then Kevin Feige would have wasted his time making a movie for somebody else. It's weird, but that's how it is in Hollywood. But yeah, make it on next Thursday. All right, makes sense. I think I'm gonna wait the next weekend, like not this weekend, but the next weekend after that, and then after that we could do a Black Widow spoiler discussion, because I do want to wait for everyone to watch the movie. But yeah, I can't wait to see Taskmaster. Okay, I said this in my review. The weakest part about this movie, and I'm sorry if I'm ruining the hype, I don't mean to do that, but in my review, what I said was I didn't like Taskmaster and I was disappointed by him. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say why or what, but I didn't like Taskmaster, and it saddened me because I love Taskmaster in the comics. But yeah, will we see episode 5 Loki variants in episode 6 or in the future? There's a possible chance. I'm not sure, but there's a chance that could happen. But yeah, by the way, I want to let everyone know that on Tuesday, we're going to be having a pregame show for Loki episode 6. I wanted to do it last week. We are going to be doing more pregame shows than before, because I know I've been slacking on the pregame shows. But now I'm going to be planning more pregame shows than before. So just be on the lookout for that. Also, on Thursdays, we're going to be having our spoiler discussions for Marvel shows the day after rather than the exact day. But yeah, someone said that Captain Marvel 2. Someone said that Captain Marvel 2, that men will get mad. I'm just going to say this. I'm tired of this whole, let's make every movie political. And it's not the movie itself. What I'm mad is Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, the people like Art, Ryan, they make it seem like every movie's political. It's not. There's just women in the movies. There's just gay people in those movies. Why does it matter? As long as they give us a good movie. And they're always saying, there's SJW agendas in movies. Isn't the agenda itself that you're anti-SJW? Like, And I'm not saying whether you should or shouldn't be. What I'm saying is, could you just watch the movie and see it for yourself instead of judging it because IndieWire decided to put an article and now you're mad because a woman's in the movie? Like, come on, guys. Like, sorry if I'm ranting, but it just frustrates me how when I saw Geeks and Gamers upload a video saying that Black Widow is too liberal because Scarlett Johansson said that Black Widow was sexualized in the past in the MCU. That's the moment where I'm like, okay, then everyone just doesn't like women in movies. Like, not saying you're sexist or anything, but could we like just stop having this false narrative? It's like what Scarlett Johansson said was true. She was sexualized in the first few movies. Times have changed. And it frustrates me. And I'm not saying what you should and shouldn't believe in, just that she's just saying the truth. That's the truth. That Black Widow was sexualized in the past in the MCU. I don't get why people have to be so mad about that. And then the only other thing that happened was IndieWire said bad things about men while promoting Black Widow, and then everyone makes it seem as if Kevin Feige and Disney were the one. Like, it's why? And then I'm not saying they're sexist or anything. What I do want to point out is everyone keeps saying the problem isn't that there's women in the movie. The problem is because of their agenda. And I'm like, then how come anytime there's a female-led movie, there's now problems? Terminator Dark Fate. All of a sudden, a lot of people hated it because there was women. Black Widow, no reason at all. Hatred. Birds of Prey, there was hatred for no reason. All these movies, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I get if you don't like the movie. I didn't like Captain Marvel. I didn't like Terminator Dark Fate. I didn't like Rise of Skywalker. I didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. But could we stop having this narrative? Like, it's so tiring. They're saying that movies are being politicalized, but they're the ones who are making it political. And I'm so sick of it. Like, could we just stop and watch a movie? Like, sorry if I'm ranting about this. I know I shouldn't, but it frustrates me. It frustrates me. But yeah, the Raimi films feel like more Spider-Man than the MCU. I guess I would say yeah, but it is what it is. But Raimi focused on Peter Parker and okay. I'm just gonna start scrolling because it's a lot of the things I've said. But yeah, which video will you make first? Spoiler review or spoiler free of Suicide Squad? I will do a Suicide Squad non-spoiler. This is what I do on my channel. When it comes to movies, I'll review the movie first, and then like a week later, I do a spoiler discussion. With shows, it's different. With shows, when the first episode drops, I give a review. But after that episode, the next other episodes, it's more like how do I say this? I do spoiler discussions the day after. Because with shows, you can't do non-spoiler reviews and then spoiler reviews because then that's a little crazy. But with movies, what I'm doing is non-spoiler review the day after I watch it. And then like a week after, we do a spoiler discussion. Because I think that makes more sense. I'm not sure. I would have to ask you guys. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review for Suicide Squad. And then like a week later, a spoiler discussion. Oh, and also, my spoiler discussions are always going to be live. Because I think spoiler discussions are better with people. I don't know. That's my thoughts on that, but yeah. Wait, does Universal Studios own Hulk characters like Sony owns Spider-Man characters? What? It's not exactly. Marvel does own Hulk. What it is it's Hulk more specifically, not the Hulk characters. With Hulk, they have the distribution rights. What that means is that they have the rights to put the movie wherever they want, as long as it's a Hulk movie. They can't do this with Avengers because that's Marvel's movie. But the rights they have is let's say Kevin Feige was to make a Hulk movie, like a Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie, what Universal is then allowed to do is to get that movie. Like, let's say this is the movie Kevin Feige makes. Let's say this is the movie he tells Universal, hey, I want this movie to be in theaters. So let's say he gives it to Universal. Now, what Universal can do is like, hey, look, I have this brand new Hulk movie. Where should I put it? Now, they have the choice. They can be like, hey, I'll put it in theaters. Now, Kevin Feige can talk to them about that. Be like, hey, could you please put this movie in theaters? And Universal can be like, all right, man, sure. But the thing is, Universal could easily just be like, you know what? How about we sell it off to Netflix? That way we make a lot more money. Or a lot more guaranteed money. And what then could happen is maybe Kevin Feige will be like, oh no, they're going to sell our movie to Netflix. And obviously that's not a good thing for Disney nor Marvel. So what could happen is Disney Plus could be like, no, we'll buy the movie, because that could happen. Disney could be like, hey, could we buy that exact movie? Not the rights, but that exact movie. And then Universal can be like, give us, I don't know, $600 million for it, and then we'll give it to you. And Marvel's like, dang, this could be $1 billion movie. We already spent the money on the movie. It's on making the movie, so that's difficult in and of itself. And so they would end up spending $600 million, which is a lot, or something like that. And especially now because Netflix bought Knives Out for $600 million, I believe. So overall, it would be difficult for a movie like Hulk. It would be much more difficult. That's kind of how it works. I know a lot of people aren't aware of that, but it's not like Sony. Sony is more like they own the Spider-Man characters, like all of them. Whether it's Morbius, whether it's Venom, Doc Ock, they own them. But Disney came to them and were like, hey, we want to use that character Spider-Man, and we want to use him for our movies. And Sony's like, all right, but we make them. We let Kevin Feige make the movie, but we have supervision of it. They can't use them. They don't make money off the Avengers movies. That's a fun fact. They make movie off merchandising. I think Disney makes more money off of the Spider-Man merchandising. When it comes to the movie itself, I believe Sony has a 80% or 70% of how much they own of the profits from the Spider-Man movies. And that's because Disney has most of the rights for the merchandising and all the other Spider-Man stuff. And Sony doesn't make money from the Avengers movies. But what happens is, Sony is more like, all right, we get this cut of the money, make this cut of the movie. And there's also a deal that says that the Spider-Man movies, the Tom Holland ones, have to include a MCU big character, whether it's Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, someone big from the MCU, or some references. So it's a little different. But yeah, I hope that eases it for people. But yeah, also let me read the comments. Okay, next one. Let me drink some water real quick. I've gone an hour and almost 30 minutes. I'm really dehydrated right now. Also, a few more hours, and I get to watch Black Widow for the second time, and I cannot wait because I actually really liked it. But are they going to make Terminator 7? I hope they don't, because to me, Terminator should have just ended after Terminator 2. After that, all the other movies were just crap, or at least my subjective opinion. But Terminator 7, I don't think will happen until at least over a decade. The reason why I believe that is because Terminator Dark Fate bombed in the box office. Like, it bombed hard. It only made $258 million in the box office. Their budget was $150 million. They didn't make any profit from it. They just made revenue from it. And so I don't think they're planning on making one anytime soon. What I do think will happen is eventually 10 years, 20 years in the line, we'll have a reboot of Terminator. I mean, they're already making a Predator reboot, even though the last Predator reboot fell to crap in the box office. But yeah, can't wait for Suicide Squad 2. Yeah, me too, man. I love James Gunn. I've loved the trailer so far. I think that Rain trailer was the best one, and I liked it a lot. But yeah. Next comment. What happens if Marvel makes a whole Disney Plus series? The same thing would happen, Kevin Feige would, again, like, let's say that I'm Kevin Feige and this is the Hulk series. Let's say it's a 6-episode miniseries about Hulk. What happened is Kevin Feige would be like, hey, Universal, can we please put this in Disney Plus? All right, man, sure. So now let's pretend I'm Universal. What they would do is they would get it and be like, so they want to put this in Disney Plus. And sure, we're going to get a cut of the Disney Plus money. But I think I want to sell it to Netflix instead. Like, they could easily grab it and be like, hey, Netflix, you want it? Paramount Plus, you want it? Peacock, do you want it? Or they can be like, hey, let's put it in theaters instead. Do you guys want it? AMC, you want it? Regal Cinemark. The same thing would happen, and I don't think Kevin Feige wants to run the risk of doing that. so they just don't do Hulk stuff. And also, I'm not sure if anyone's asked this so far, but with She-Hulk, it's different because it's Universal specifically has the rights to Hulk himself. They don't have the rights to all the it's not the same. When they first got Hulk, they don't have the distribution rights for the other characters like She-Hulk or Abomination. What Marvel's allowed to do is they can put these characters in other projects. Like Abomination's going to be in Shang-Chi. What they're allowed to do, what Marvel is allowed to do is they're like, oh, look, She-Hulk. Because that's happening. They can be like She-Hulk. Universal, you can't mess with this because you don't have the distribution rights, so we'll put it on Disney Plus. That's what Marvel can do. But what they can't do is, look, this is the Hulk series. This is a Hulk Disney Plus series or Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo. We're going to put it in theaters. Universal can be like, no. We have a contract that says we are in charge of that, and we'll be selling it to Netflix. So I think it's something like that from what I've read. But yeah. Are we going to watch John Wick Chapter 4? Heck yeah, man. I love the John Wick movies. I love Keanu Reeves. And I'm glad Keanu Reeves is getting all the love in the world because the guy is such a nice sweetheart. But yeah. Next comment. Famous Loki series character. Also, why am I just not realizing that? But his profile picture is Thor. Why am I just now man, I'm really stupid, aren't I? But favorite Loki series character. Mobius. I love Mobius. I'm a big fan of Mobius, and I want to see him in a jet ski. I think him in a jet ski is just dreams come true. Also, let me read the comment, a text message I got. But next comment by Edwin says Terminator Salvation should have ended the saga. I'll be honest, I thought Salvation was horrible. Oh, hold up. Give me a minute, but. Okay, hold up. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I thought Terminator 2 just had such a perfect ending for the Terminator saga. Also, I think the concept of Terminator isn't really something you can do for a lot of movies, and I think that got proved with T3, Salvation, Genesis, and Dark Fate. I almost forgot Dark Fate's name. But yeah, to me, Terminator 2 should have been the final movie because it had such a good ending. To me, it's just an ending that solidified, the entire saga. And the thing that annoys me is that Terminator 2 was about ending Judgment Day from happening, but yet the other movies keep saying Judgment Day is upon us, and I'm like, didn't we just end this? I don't know, but yeah. Dude, when is Comic-Con 2021? Can't wait for movie future updates. I'm not sure about this, but I believe that it's on November. Oh yeah, okay, now I remember. It's actually on Thanksgiving week. It's on Thanksgiving week. I was confusing it with DC Fandom. By the way, we are going to be having a DC Fandom around October or November, I believe. Just that it's going to be virtual once again. But Comic-Con will actually be in person in November. I hated Comic-Con online. I mean, again, I can't blame them because obviously they're not used to it. But Comic-Con to me will be in Thanksgiving. Let me just say one thing. My dream is to hopefully one day be able to go to Comic-Con because I've always wanted to. And if I was ever to go to Comic-Con, I would vlog it just to put it on the channel. I don't think I can any time soon. I've never been to a Comic-Con. Also, I want to know if any of you guys have ever been to Comic-Con. Let me know. That would be interesting. Mainly because plane tickets are expensive. Hotel tickets would be expensive. And, going into the Comic-Con is expensive in and of itself. Then I would have to take time off from work or something like that. It would be a lot. But yeah. Why can't Marvel buy Hulk? Here's the reason. So let's say this is the why do I keep using this as an example? But let's say this is the contract. In the contract, it says that Universal owns the distribution rights to Hulk. And the reason why they have that is because they realize that they would be making a lot more money from Hulk movies than if they sold the rights. And I know what you're about to say, but there's no more Hulk movies, so why can't Marvel just buy it? The thing is, a lot of contracts tend to have an expiration date. The one that Universal has does not have an expiration date. It has no expiration date. They can have it as long as they want. Now, they can negotiate, but the thing is, Universal is aware that Hulk is a massive IP. It's a popular franchise. With Eric Bana made a lot of money. Edward Norton made a lot of money. The Hulk series made a lot of money. Hulk overall makes a lot of money. And especially now with the Avengers movies being so popular, Hulk right now would make a lot of money. But the thing is, Universal realizes that if Kevin Feige wants to make a Marvel movie, and especially with Marvel being as popular as it is right now, they can be like, look, we have a Marvel movie in our hands. We can promote it as a Marvel movie, MCU movie. But the thing is, we can do whatever we want with it. And they realize that no matter what, they're going to be making more money with this rather than if they just sold the rights. So I believe that is the thing. And I believe that honestly, Marvel knows that it would be very pricey. And not only that, but no one seems to think about this, but Disney just recently bought Fox, and that was an expensive purchase. And they're still They're still suffering from that expense. Sure, they're making a lot of money now, but they still are struggling from that financial investment. Obviously, it's going to work because their main goal was to get more content for Disney Plus, but they just recovered from getting the Fox, like not just X-Men, but they got all of Fox, all of their IP, and that's expensive. And so I don't think they're gonna want to, right now at least. I don't think they're gonna want to buy Hulk because they know that Hulk would be insanely expensive, and they realize their loophole around it is just put Hulk in other Marvel movies rather than just make a movie for him. So to them, I think they realized they would lose money rather than make money, and the whole point of Hollywood is to make money, which it's a little confusing, but that's the reason why that happens. But yeah, same thing with Sony in a little bit, where Sony's like, we ain't selling Spider-Man. Our contract says it can't expire. Like the rights to Spider-Man, the rights say that it cannot expire because there's no year. But yeah, it's something like that. But Lightning McQueen is going to appear in the last episode. Yeah, it's going to be like a Owen Wilson variant. That would be funny, but I mean, Disney can't. I mean, it is Disney, but next comment. Terminator 2 Judgment Day ended the saga. John and Sarah saved the DYA. What do I say? Stop Judgment Day. Yeah, they stopped Judgment Day. They stopped Judgment Day, and that's why I believe that Terminator should stop, because after that, it was like, but they stopped Judgment Day. You're telling me you're just going to end? Like, it's like, it would have been like if, let's say in Avengers 5, there's a new group of Avengers, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, all the new characters, and then Thanos comes back, and you're there like, but he died. So they didn't kill Thanos. And then you're there like, so what's the point of Endgame if the main goal that you said was accomplished wasn't actually accomplished? Like, and you know what I mean? But yeah, they delayed it into T2. No. The future movie said that, but in T2, they made it clear that they ended Judgment Day. In the movies, they ended. I forgot. I think it was T3. They said it was delayed, but from the canon of T2 specifically, it ended Judgment Day. The other movies just wanted an excuse and say that, it's they delayed it, but they actually did end it in Terminator 2. But that's just my view. Also, 6 votes, and we have 86% of y'all liking episode 5. I'm glad y'all liked it. I liked it. I think it's the 4th best episode. I think episode 1, 2, and 4 were better episodes, but I still like this episode. Yeah. DC Fandom, October 16, 2021. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know about that. I kind of want to do a watch party when it comes out, but hey, I'm not sure about it. Are you planning on to watch Free Guy? Yeah, man. The trailers looked funny. Ryan Reynolds is an actor I love, and I'm excited to see a Free Guy. I really am. So I'm gonna be there opening day. But yeah, if DC fandom do in person, I will try to go there. I know for sure this year they're gonna do it through the computers. I don't think DC fandom will ever be a real convention. I think it'll always be online. Uh, Let me just say the last DC fandom was just amazing. I love the Wonder Woman 84 panel. I love the Suicide Squad panel. I love the Snyder Cut trailer drop where we had Snyder talk. I love what they did in DC fandom. I remember I was at work. I put on a headphone. I put my phone in my pocket while listening to DC fandom, and I loved it. I remember when they went to the Suicide Squad panel. No, it was Wonder Woman 84, and I knew they were dropping a Wonder Woman 84 trailer. I go in there, the restroom. I pretend to use the restroom, and I just watched the trailer. I was excited, but the Batman trailer, I did not think they were going to drop the trailer. I know there was rumors already before, and I remember when Matt Reeves popped up, and they're like, "Okay, here's the trailer." I'm like, "They're going to show. They're going to show." So I watched the trailer, and still to this day, that is my favorite trailer of all time. It is my favorite trailer of all time. But yeah. It's dumb that Disney changed Fox names to 20th Century Fox to 20th Century Studios. I guess so. I'm not sure what their idea was, but yeah. Fox owned Alien and Predator and Planet of the Apes, and yeah, now Disney like that's why the main reason why Disney did this was because Disney Plus, they were already planning on Disney Plus. And they're like, we need a lot of movies. So they're like, hey, look, we got Alien, Predator, Planet of the Apes, we have the Simpsons, this, that. They're going to be like, hey, we have all this. But yeah. And X-Men and Fantastic Four. And yeah, the same with that. Loki series BGM is awesome. What was BGM? I can't remember. Are you meaning the beginning? Because I will say the beginning was awesome. But yeah. I think they will show Black Adam teaser and Flash 2022 teaser. I think they're going to do what they did with the Suicide Squad, where they showed a video, like a little montage of them behind the scenes. Like, that's what they did with the Suicide Squad. I think they're going to do that with Black Adam and Flash. And I think with the Batman, they're going to show another trailer. And I think we will know more about the future of the DCEU at DC Fandom. I think we're going to find out more stuff about the CW. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see and find out. But yeah, they are making Alien show for FX. Yeah, I know about that. Can't wait. Oh yeah, the Batman second trailer. I know that is happening for the most part. I feel like we're also going to get James. Now I could be wrong, but I feel like they're going to confirm James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. They're going to confirm there's going to be a sequel to The Suicide Squad in DC fandom. I feel like that will happen. I feel like that's going to happen because I genuinely feel like this Suicide Squad movie is going to make a lot of money. It's going to be the best financial comic book movie, or at least DC movie, in theaters since the pandemic. I feel like it's going to be at that level, and I feel like it's going to be loved. And I feel like a DC fandom is going to be like, we're going to get a sequel. And I also think they're going to confirm, they're going to show us footage of Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, stuff like that. But yeah, Snyder fans, they will restore the Snyderverse. The Snyder stuff. I don't expect anything Snyderverse related, at least for the next 2 years. I think we're gonna have to wait a while, like years, until we ever get any news about the Snyderverse, whether it's done, over with, or if they're gonna continue, because we don't know the streaming numbers. We really don't. It's not really ever been shown. You guys know I want to restore it. But at the end of the day, I can see why they wouldn't. And again, we don't know. Like, they haven't publicly released the numbers. We don't know. Like, Warner Bros. They're aware of how much or how well or how bad the Snyder Cut did. I'm gonna assume it did pretty good. I know in China it broke a record for biggest streaming movie of all time streaming. Um, I don't know. I hope we do, but I don't expect any DC fandom news. I don't expect any Snyderverse news at DC fandom. I hope there is. I hope there's at least. I at least would love, like, as long as they say something, I would love that. Like, even if Walter Amato was to come out and say, "Hey, you know what? No more Snyderverse. That was the last Snyder movie. We're gonna move forward. Here's my plan." I feel like that could happen. I would rather that than just not know. Like, I'm genuine about that. Even though I would love the Snyderverse restored, I would at least love if they just came out and just said what was their plan. And I feel like another thing that we're gonna get is they're gonna confirm their plan, or at least most of their plan. I feel like he's gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna have a Blue Beetle movie. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have that." And there's gonna be other movies that we have not known that they were making that they're gonna confirm on the spot and stuff like that. I feel like that's gonna happen. But also, I think they're gonna talk about Aquaman 2. I think they might talk about Black Superman, something like that. But yeah, I think they will show Shazam trailer first before Flash trailer. When is Shazam 2 coming out? Is it 2023? I forgot. I don't know. Whichever movie comes out first, I think that's the movie they're going to show. But yeah, Aquaman 2, they will make the Suicide Squad in DC fandom. That's what they think. Frosty 808, you're watching Black Widow this weekend. I feel like it won't have much humor compared to previous MCU films, but I watch it anyways. I actually already saw it. I have a review on it on the channel, but I am watching it again today. I quite like the movie. It does have humor. In fact, I would say David Harbour is insanely funny as Red Guardian in this movie. Does it have as much humor as, let's say, Infinity War or Endgame? No, but it does have a lot of it. Just check out my review. My review's on my channel. It's one of my recent videos. Just find it. But yeah, I did review it. I am going to be watching it again today with a friend who has not seen it, because today is the day it's released to the public. And yeah, if they make Suicide Squad 3, I hope Deathstroke and Deadshot are in it. I would love to see Deadshot mainly because Will Smith and Idris Elba, that sounds like an awesome combination. Also, fun fact. So last Sunday, so I have a group of friends I hang out with every Sunday, and we always talk and watch stuff. I remember none of them had seen the Rain trailer for Suicide Squad, and so I show it to them, and they see Idris Elba, and they thought it was Deadshot. Like, they thought they recasted Deadshot, and like, I think I found that out when one of them was like, well, "Why is Idris Elba playing Deadshot?" And I'm like, "He's not playing Deadshot." And these are guys who love comic books. Like, they love comics. And I said, "No, that's Bloodsport." And they're like, "Who?" Like, they were genuinely like, "Who the heck is Bloodsport?" And I remember when Idris Elba first got casted, everyone was like, "Reboot, they're gonna reboot Will Smith's Deadshot and that Idris Elba's gonna be Deadshot." I was like, "No, I don't think that's gonna happen." And so when they confirmed who Idris Elba was playing Bloodsport, I'm like, thank God they didn't recast. Thank God they didn't, because really, I didn't want recast, because that way it could, because I feel like James Gunn would love Will Smith to be in a movie. In fact, I think he even said that the reason why Will Smith is not in this one is because Will Smith has a busy schedule. He really has an insanely busy schedule. And I feel like a lot of that was, he couldn't at the time. And I feel like maybe if this one's, because remember, the first Suicide Squad, while it made a lot of money, it got a poor reception by critics and fans. And I feel like Will Smith didn't like that. So I feel like if this James Gunn one is, like, let's say there's good reviews by fans and critics, makes a decent amount of money, I feel like Will Smith is going to be like, you know what? Why don't I go back? Why don't I go back and be Deadshot with this new director? But yeah, they talk about Black Superman 2. Yeah, I think they might. I feel like they'll only talk about it because they obviously haven't started filming. But I think they're going to talk about it. But yeah. and Peacemaker series. Oh yeah, I know they started filming, but I know they did start filming, so they are probably going to talk about that. But yeah, you think the Suicide Squad will be a good movie? I think more than likely it will, because from the minute I heard James Gunn was going to direct just a new Suicide Squad, I was like, whoa. And then with the cast, Pete Davidson is insanely hilarious. Flula Borg is hilarious. Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney is funny. Margot Robbie, amazing. We've seen her as Harley Quinn already. Idris Elba. Shyamalan. Well, no, it's not. It's something. I forgot how to pronounce it, but he's playing Polka Dot Man. He's hilarious. We have it's Michael Rooker. He has wait, who's he playing again? I can't remember. We're getting Weasel. The minute I heard Polka Dot Man was gonna be in this movie, I was like, this is definitely a James Gunn movie. When they announced Polka Dot Man, I was like, no freaking way. Like, no way. Like, this is a James Gunn movie. Also, guys, I'm gonna be right back. Stay where you are. I gotta do something real quick. I'm gonna go check something and then I'll be back. Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I'm back. I'm back in black. But the minute I heard James Gunn, and then when I heard some of the characters in it, I was like, hey, I'm excited already. And then they show the trailers, and I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. I'm excited. And the trailers, especially this recent one, the Rain trailer, awesome. Also, 3C Films just uploaded, but that was an awesome trailer. Also, I'm trying to hit the 2-hour mark, by the way. 12 minutes left, and then we'll reach the 2-hour mark. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an amazing movie. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, Peacemaker show shooting has officially completed. Can't wait for the show. Yeah, I can't wait either. It is a little worrying because it seems like he's just a small side character, but I'm still excited for this Peacemaker series, man. I cannot wait. But yeah, when they cast Idris Elba, people they thought they were going to recast Deadshot. Yeah, that did happen. I remember a lot of people were like, "No, they're recasting Deadshot," and I remember I was one of the few people who was like, "They didn't even like from the articles. They didn't say that it was Deadshot." I was like excited because I love Idris Elba. I think Idris Elba is just a great actor. So when they casted him, I was obviously excited. But there's a lot of people who were like, "No, they're recasting Deadshot." I'm like, where do you get that conclusion? They didn't even say that. Like, the thing that surprised me from people thinking that way is because they already confirmed Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. They confirmed Jai Courtney coming back. They confirmed Rick Flagg's actor was coming back, and they confirmed Amanda Waller's character was coming back. So I'm like, why would you just think they would reboot that character? And then when at DC Fandom they confirmed it wasn't Deadshot, it was going to be Bloodsport. I was like, perfect. Now I love the reason why he's in jail. He shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet and left him in the. What was the thing? What was the place they said he was at? I know it's something emergency where like someone's in critical damage, something like that. But yeah, I remember when they announced Suicide Squad 2, I got excited. Yeah, I remember what happened was James Gunn got fired from Disney because of the comments he made, and a lot after he got fired, I remember everyone wanted to hire James Gunn because James Gunn was popular with Guardians of the Galaxy, with all these other projects. Everyone's like, they got to bring in James Gunn because James Gunn's talented. So what happens is he's getting all this, and then Warner Bros. Eventually got to hire him. And what happened is around that time, we found out that Warner Bros. Was like, hey, in this DC universe, we're going to let you decide what movie you want to do. And everyone was like, oh, he's going to do Superman. Oh, he's going to do Green Lantern. My prediction at the time, I didn't have a YouTube channel at this time, but if I did, I would have been telling you guys that my prediction was he was going to do a Green Lantern movie. That's what I thought, because I felt like he was someone who seemed like he would have loved Hal Jordan to do Hal Jordan, or maybe even Jon Stewart. He seemed like someone who would have loved to do that. A lot of people were predicting Superman, but my prediction was Hal Jordan, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern movie. And so when they announced that James Gunn had chosen Suicide Squad, I was like, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. Suicide Squad. All right, bring me James Gunn's version. And the minute they announced that, I was like, heck yeah. I saw a lot of people being like, he's just going to copy Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, heck yeah, I wouldn't mind that, because I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's my favorite MCU movie. So I'm like, if it's anything similar like that, I'm going to love this movie, man. But yeah. When they announced James Gunn as a director, I got excited too. Yeah, me too, man. When I saw Harley Quinn's design in DC fandom, it was awesome. Yeah, the black and red gave me Arkham Knight vibes. I love it. I love that suit. I know my younger sister, is a big fan of that suit. She loves the red and black, and I can't disagree. I love the red and black suit. But yeah, everyone thought it was a reboot. Well, they confirmed that it wasn't a reboot. It was gonna be a soft reboot. That's what they said. And the minute I was like, yeah, it's not a reboot, was when they got Harley Quinn, like Margot Robbie. They got Jack Courtney back as Boomerang. They got Rick Flag, and they got Amanda Waller back. I was like, yeah, then it's not a reboot. They're just going to change the characters. Because I'm not sure if you guys have read the Suicide Squad comics, but in the comics, Suicide Squad has always been a group that changes members. In Guardians of the Galaxy, it's not like that, where you have the same members. But with Suicide Squad, it's always you have different members come along, different villains. You have King Shark maybe one day, and then the next day he's not there, and then you have Polka Dot Man instead, or maybe you have Katana. You have like different characters. So that's why I was like, nah, they're just gonna say there's different characters. But yeah. Oh yeah, they announced that Jared Leto's not coming back as Joker. I remember that. Yeah, I remember Warner Bros. Once came out and said he was never coming back. I'm going to give you guys a funny story of my Jared Leto Joker talk here on the channel. So when I first started my channel, the videos I made weren't the videos I make now, where now it's just more of a conversation with you guys. Back then I used to do essays, like video essays. And one of them was why Jared Leto's Joker deserves a second chance. And I uploaded this early on during the pandemic. I remember everyone was telling me, no, because I remember in my real world life, I was always known as the one guy who liked Jared's Joker. I've always loved Jared Leto's Joker. I thought he was pretty good. I don't think he's as good as Heath. I don't think he's as good as Jack Nicholson. I don't think he's as good as Joaquin. But I was always like, I think he deserves a second chance because he was BS'd in Suicide Squad. And I even liked his small role in Suicide Squad. And so I remember I uploaded that video, and at the time, I got 80 views. That was the most views I've ever had in a video. It was around when I only had like 10 subscribers. And a lot of people were like, I disagree or agree. It's like I had a lot of comments. Some people were like, you know what? You're the first person I've met in a while that likes Jared's Joker. And I remember the day that Jared got confirmed to be in the Snyder Cut. It was in Variety or Deadline, one of the reliable sources. It got confirmed that Jared Leto was coming back as Joker in the Suicide Squad. It was around November or December. I believe it was around that time. And I remember I was celebrating. I was like, yes, finally. And I remember that video around that time, everyone was comments. Like the video ended up getting more views. I think it eventually reached 2K views, I believe. And everyone was telling me, dang, you got it right. You got it right. Your wish came true. And some people were like, this video really aged well. And I remember I was celebrating, and you guys have seen my intro. Actually, let me play my intro right now, just because I don't know if you guys remember, but this is the beginning of my intro. Let me. Yeah, that's the beginning of my intro. In every one of my videos, I show Jared Leto's Joker with the gun, just and you hear his laugh. I never tell people this, but the reason why I have that start off my intro is because the day Jared Leto got confirmed, I went on YouTube. I got that clip of him shooting a gun, laughing, And I kept posting it on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. I kept putting Jared Leto's Joker's coming back. Who got the last laugh? And then you have the, the ah ha 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 ha. And so when I was making my intro one time, I decided let's put it at the beginning because I love that clip. And a lot of people were telling me, stop posting this clip. You keep putting it everywhere. And I'm like, I love the clip. So now it's just my intro. Like it's at the very beginning of my intro every time I upload. Because it felt like a win. If that day Jared Leto's Joker got confirmed to be coming back for the Snyder Cut, because I believe that he was never coming back. I said that in Birds of Prey wasn't, because in Birds of Prey he didn't come back. The Suicide Squad, they have not said. I think James Gunn even was asked and he said no. He was asked and he said no. Everyone, figured no more Jared Leto's Joker. That was the end. That one movie. That day, I remember the impossible came true. The impossible became possible. And that is Jared Leto coming back as the Clown Prince of Crime. Never did I think that was going to happen, and it happened. And I remember everyone was like, "Dan, you got it right." And I was like, and everyone kept getting annoyed at me playing that clip. You know what? I'm not sure if you guys get annoyed when I play the clip. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Probably annoyed you, but yeah. Is Ben Affleck in Flash movie or not? Yeah, it got confirmed. It got confirmed at DC Fandom. It got confirmed by Variety, reliable source. I believe there was even a image that surfaced of Ben Affleck leaving Warner Bros. With a Flash script. I believe. I could be wrong about that. But the other two things I said are completely true. He is going to be appearing. What we don't know is how big or how little his role is. From what I think, I can only say what I believe. What I think is going to happen is just going to be a quick moment. But yeah. It is like a sequel for Birds of Prey. Yeah, I remember in Birds of Prey there was this moment. I remember I was in theaters. And you see Harley stop, and she looks at this little sign that shows Captain Boomerang's face, and it says "Wanted." It's like, hey, I know that guy. I was like, is that a little reference to the fact that we're about to get the Suicide Squad? I know a lot of people hate Birds of Prey, which is fine. I love Birds of Prey. Like, I really like Birds of Prey. I had fun with it. I've seen it twice. I've liked it both times. I haven't seen it in over a year, by the way. Let me just say that again. I haven't seen it in over a year, Birds of Prey. But I really liked Birds of Prey. I thought Birds of Prey was just fantastic. It was fantabulous, like the trailer says so. Yeah, I really liked it. But next comment, Jared Leto Joker is underrated. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he was great. Even before that nightmare scene. I know a lot of people saw the nightmare scene and were like, Jared Leto Joker redeemed. Jared Leto Joker redeemed. I was like, to me, he was always pretty good. I am the biggest Jared Leto Joker fan I've ever met. I don't think I've ever met in my real life, at least in my real world life. I've never met anyone who's told me that they like Jared Leto's Joker. Every person I've ever encountered have told me that they hate Jared Leto's Joker. And it's only here on YouTube where I actually meet people who like Jared Leto's Joker. And it's funny. It's hilarious, man, but it is what it is. Vikings or Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones. Every day, Game of Thrones. I like Vikings, but to me, Game of Thrones is a better show. Also, let me read this quick text message from my boy, Jose, because we are going to be watching Black Widow later today, and I cannot wait. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay. Let me come back to YouTube. Okay. There. We're back. Also, congratulations to England for reaching the final of Euros. Also, congratulations to Italy. I will say, England shouldn't have gone. Denmark was the better team, and that was not a penalty. I'm sorry, that was not a penalty. But regardless of that, congratulations to Italy. I hope Italy win. I like Italy, and I think it would be an underdog strike because in 2018 they didn't make the World Cup, and now they're winning Euros. So that would be or being in the final of the Euros. But congratulations to both Italy and England, and also Argentina Saturday. I was going to do a live stream Saturday night, but because it's the Copa America final, I will not be able to stream that day. I apologize for that. But on Saturday, I will be busy, not being able to stream. And I'm going to be watching Copa America. And, I'm not from Argentina. I'm not from there. But I'm supporting Argentina because my favorite player of all time, Lionel Messi, is going to be in the final. So I'm going to be supporting Argentina. I was so proud of my boy, Emiliano Martinez. I've always believed he's been a great keeper. Even when he got benched at Arsenal, every time I saw him play, he was always pretty good. And I liked him. But I'm going to go for my boy Messi. I'm going to be supporting Argentina. But for the Euros, I'm going to be supporting Italy just because Italy's an underdog story. And Italy in 2018 didn't make the World Cup, and now they're in the Euros final. Like, that to me is impressive. Cannot wait. But anyways, we got 5 more minutes here on the channel, so make sure you drop your final comments. I'm going to be reading these last comments, and then drop your final because my voice is dying, and I'm going to be going to watch Black Widow. But yeah, that's just me. I cannot wait to watch, and I can't wait to watch it again. My friend is going to be watching it for the first time, so I'm excited for him. I hope all of you guys watch it this weekend or next weekend. Don't worry. But yeah, it's I'm going to be rooting for Italy and Argentina this weekend, especially Argentina, because Messi deserves the Copa America. He deserves a trophy with Argentina. Sorry for boring y'all with my soccer talk. I know Edwin's probably the only one here who likes soccer, but just want to get that out of the way. So this is probably going to be the last time we talk before the finals. After, I'll give you guys my thoughts, maybe real quick, but yeah. You think they will make a sequel for Suicide Squad? Yeah. Not for Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey, as much as I liked it, and as well as it did critically, I don't think they will, because it just didn't make much money in the box office. But yeah, I think we will see Harley Quinn in the first hour in the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of Harley Quinn. From the trailers, it seems like we're getting a lot. Oh, yeah. Will the shark survive in Suicide Squad? I think he will, because he looked like it. It seems like King Shark, I think, is going to be a fan favorite. I think King Shark will be a fan favorite, and I think James Gunn was aware of that when making the movie, and I feel like he's going to want to keep King Shark. I do think there's going to be a lot of characters dying. I just don't think it's going to be like the major, like Peacemaker or Bloodsport or Harley Quinn. I don't think those characters are going to die. Maybe Polka Dot Man's going to die. I don't know, but yeah. Vamos Italy. Awesome. Vamos Brazil. I'm joking. Italy went to the final since 2012. Yeah, they made the final 2012 with Balotelli, and they lost to Spain 4-0, I believe, or 3-0. I don't remember, but I remember that finals. But still think it's an underdog story, mainly because they just have, in 2018, they were over. Everyone was like, Italy's done with, because Italy didn't even qualify for the World Cup, and I understand, but yeah. Brazil would be Argentina. Sorry, Isaac. Yeah, you guys know, before the Copa America started, I predicted Brazil was going to win. And I said Argentina was going to make the final and Brazil was going to win. So sadly, so far, my prediction has come true. It seems like so far I've been right, and Brazil is about to beat Argentina. But anything in soccer is possible, and Argentina looks good. Although I do think Brazil's a better team. To me, soccer is a game not about just skill. It's about luck, and it's always about who plays with their heart. But I'll be supporting Argentina, and we're just going to wait and see, find out. I do believe Brazil's going to win. I think there's a 70% chance Brazil will win, but I would love Argentina to win. Anyways, okay, wait, hold up. You think Harley Quinn will die? I don't think so. She's a big IP. She's very popular. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's spoiler discussion. For the people watching this in the replay, y'all comment down below your thoughts on Loki episode 5. Let me know your theories for episode 6. And let me know if you're watching Black Widow this weekend. For the people who are new to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Isaac the Film Geek. That way you can be updated with more stuff here on the channel. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us here in the multiverse of movies. Glad to have you guys be a part of today's 2-hour live stream. My voice is dying, but I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day, for taking 2 hours of your day, for being here. I can't wait to see you guys on the pregame show on Tuesday, where we're going to be talking about Loki episode 5. Can't wait to see you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.